Hello everybody and welcome to Tiger Tales and Lost Stories, the place you'll find stories and fanfictions written and read to you by your host, me, Tiger. But all the stories here are in the first person perspective. Now today I bring you a brand new storyline called Power Rangers Cyberforce Arsenal Archives. This is a huge homage to not only the creator of Power Rangers Cyberforce, Cosplay Dude 637, you can hear the original Power Rangers Cyberforce storyline in the Power Rangers Universe 19 podcast, found anywhere that you listen to podcasts. But it also is to our brother in arms with the Free Ranger Bro Studios, Mark the Red Cornish Ranger, who is an associate of ours. Now, both of them have helped me out tremendously. Both of them being not only my associates, but also like brothers to me. They help me out a lot, not only in story term wise, but in my personal life as well. So this is a big, huge thank you to the pair of them. This story is a homage to Cyberforce, and an homage to Willie, Cosplay Dude 637, and to Mark. I'll let the story speak for itself, and more things will come to light as the story continues, but let's just dive in. With Power Rangers Cyberforce, Arsenal Archives, Chapter 1, The Search Begins. Call me Ty. Most people do. I am an artist. A lot of people deem my work as breaking the law, as my artwork is graffiti. I stood there painting a picture on the wall, spray painting as I go. It was harder to do nowadays though. The year was 3026. Life was pretty good, not gonna lie. Other than the time when evil time-traveling aliens rammed themselves into our atmosphere and started stealing all sorts of stuff to sell across time. Then the Power Rangers Time Force got involved, and Power Rangers SPD got involved as well. And now they're in a small, tiny war between the aliens and the Rangers. I struck my artwork with red paint, then I took a few steps back and admired my work. Suddenly my morpher went off. Oh yeah, I have a Power Ranger morpher. It was an old prototype of a Ranger team from many years ago, but I managed to alternate some of the gizmos that made it work, and I kind of got it working again. I couldn't morph with it whatsoever, but I managed to get the communication system working. I pulled the morph out of my bag, strapped onto my wrist, and I pressed it. "Sup, dude?" I answered. "Hey man, we got a box finally in the lab, and if you want to come over and have a look, it's rippling with morphing grid energy. My friend Sam told me." "Ah, yes, I'm on my way," I told him. Then I hung up, stuffed my spray can into my bag, swung my bag over my shoulder, and started walking. Sam was my scientist buddy, who helped me design my Ranger power set, and we transferred it to the morpher. I walked through the city centre, making sure I kept my head low. The Power Ranger teams didn't quite like the idea of me having a Ranger morpher, just in case I managed to get it working. They didn't want a rogue Ranger running around. I walked past the stores, and I walked up the steps, then I reached the laboratory. I entered Sam's code. I shouldn't have had it, but I did. I entered the elevator and pressed the basement level button, and the elevator shifted. I waited. I hummed away at the music that played. Then finally the door opened and I walked out, entering the laboratory. The energy scanner and converter. I saw Sam sat at his desk in the middle of the room under a big device. There was a random black box sat there. "Hey man," Sam said to me. "Hey dude, what's going on?" I asked, kind of confused. "Well, the box is buzzing, like a really low hum. I think I might better bust it open a bit," Sam stated. "Okay, yeah, let's do that. That's gonna sound cool. More Ranger stuff, right?" I said with glee. "You really want this Ranger stuff to work, don't you?" Sam asked. "Yeah, man. Power Rangers, Time Force, and SPD are doing nothing. If I can do something to help, I'm gonna," I replied. Truth was, I wanted to revive the morpher I got. It didn't work, it needed a power kick. I wanted to be a Ranger to help people. Like back in the day, Time Force was only around still due to people missing and messing around with time travel, and SPD due to alien invaders like the issue we're having now. I wanted to be a Ranger for the little people, for the middleman, for the people on the streets. That is why I modified the morpher. "So, now what?" I asked Sam. "We put on these goggles, I zap the box with a high-intense laser beam, and we see what happens," Sam told me. "Yeah, sounds good," I grinned. and I was handed a pair of goggles. I placed them on and Sam typed away on his keyboard, and suddenly a big pole and a glass orb hanging from the ceiling started to glow and electricity started rippling off of it. Then a pure white beam of energy blasted from the orb and hit the black box. The box started rippling with a deep humming sound. The reading's off the charts, man, Sam chuckled. So it has potential? I asked him. Potential? Yeah, I think so. Sam nodded, then his screen started beeping. Okay, something's going wrong here, Sam gasped. He typed away and the machine started wavering. The box started to shake. The box needs to be moved, or else it could be destroyed, Sam barked at me. I hopped over the defensive wall without hesitation, then I ran into the middle of the room and I grabbed the box. I tried to move it, but it was like it weighed a ton. The energy that seeped off the box trailed up my hand and it was absorbed into my morpher. Dude, you gotta move! It's gonna blow! Sam barked. I did not have time to respond. The machine blew up. I was thrown back, the box still in my grip. I hit the wall across the room hard and everything went dark. I woke up a couple seconds later with Sam standing over me. Dude, you're awake. Thank God. I'm sorry, Sam sighed. No problem, I said as I sat up. I stroked my pounding head. I stood up and placed myself on a computer chair. I looked down at my morpher before me and an activated screen looked at me. The morpher was active. Oh, Zordon's nipples! It's activated! I blurted. I pressed a random icon on the morpher and it started beeping. Cannot activate till morphing sequence has been achieved. The morpher spoke. Okay, I muttered back. Well, the box is damaged, but it's still got something in it for sure, Sam muttered as he picked up the box and placed it on the table. I waved my hand over the morpher and it started glowing a golden brown colour. What the hell? I gasped. Then I pressed another icon and suddenly there was a flash of light and a warm glow encased my body. I stood up in panic as I looked down and I saw I had morphed into a Power Ranger. Oh, dude, what the hell? You're a Power Ranger! Sam blurted in glee. Then he started typing on his keyboard. Dude, you are a Cyberforce Ranger, a set of rangers built to defend the Cyber Realm and defeat the uncle to the princess of the Cyber Realm, who was also the Purple Ranger, Sam explained as he read off the information screen. Dude, I feel weird. Strong, but I feel like I'm also light as a feather. I gasped, I flexed my hands. I could feel the power coursing through my veins. I looked down at the morpher and saw a weapon icon. Curiosity got the better of me and I pressed a holographic screen. As it projected from the morpher, I was given 3 options. A pair of Eskrima sticks labelled the Cyber Sticks, 2 big hand blasters labelled Cyber Triggers, and a cutlass, simply labelled Cyber Cutlass. I pressed the cutlass logo and in a burst of green coding, a cutlass sword appeared in my hand. It was heavy, but also light at the same time. Dude! What the hell? Sam barked in shock. Sam came over and examined the sword in my hand. I started spinning the sword around and it swooshed in the air as I swung it. It's almost like you know how to wield that thing, Sam stated. It's kind of strange because I think I do, I said to him. So, what colour are you? Sam asked me confused. I looked down at my ranger suit. It was a swirl of mixtures of brown and blacks with some dull gold stripes going through it. Dude, you kind of remind me of those tiger eye crystals, Sam said. It's like I'm a Cyberforce Tiger's Eye Ranger, I commented. Yeah, I like it. So what else can you do? Sam asked me. I pressed the weapons icon again, and this time I pressed the cyber triggers. And the cutlass in my hand glimmered a green code, shifted into 2 big hand blasters. I aimed one of them and fired it, and the laser bounced around the room. Me and Sam ducked down as it flew over our heads. Then it hit the black box, knocking off the table. It started to shimmer and shake. Then it burst open, and a beam of white light shot straight up, breaking through the ceiling, and went straight up into the sky. Suddenly, I demorphed and looked confused at myself. Maybe you were in it for too long, Sam shrugged. Yeah, maybe. We should worry about that later, though, I said, as I pointed up at the beam of light. True, Sam nodded. Then the light died away, but the box kept vibrating. Then me and Sam looked up through the hole in the ceiling, several hovercrafts flying towards us. They came down, entering the room. They halted, and several husks stepped off. Reptilian, big, bulky, dark green, ugly creatures holding big cannons. They stood there in front of me and Sam, guns raised, and we held our arms in surrender. What made that surge of energy? One barked. It was nothing, I growled back. Lies! That beam was powerful enough to cut through your entire building. And it had morphing grid energy, rippling off the charts. Another barked at me. Suddenly the door burst open and several SPD rangers came running in with their rifles. SPD, everyone drop your weapons and hands up, the other ranger barked. Come on, man, this is my lab, Sam called out. The Husk Raiders all opened fire, and I pushed Sam off his feet, and the SPD Rangers returned their fire back. Me and Sam crawled under the surface of one of the tables. I hate those SPD guys. They don't care about whose home or workplace they're destroying whilst they're fighting these things. Time traveling no good for nothing alien scumbags, Sam growled. I saw the annoyance and pain in my best friend's eyes. I looked down at my morpher. I had to change to handle both factions. I looked at Sam, took a deep breath, then I jumped up and ran into the carnage. Dude! Sam called behind me. I waved my hand over my morpher, and it started glowing the colours of a tiger's eye crystal. I then slammed my hand over my morpher, and in a flash of light, I was morphed into the Cyberforce Tiger's Eye Ranger. I pressed my weapons icon, and pressed one of the weapons. Download Cyber Sticks! I called out, and my cyber sticks appeared in my hand. I ran into the fight and jumped up and kicked one of the husks in the face. As I landed, then I smacked one in the shoulder. Then I swung the other stick into a husk in the waist. Then I hit the first one in the head with the butt end of my cyber stick, knocking the husk out. Then I tripped the second one and slammed both sticks into its torso. Then the brown SPD Ranger ran up to me with his rifle raised. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! No identified ranger business, the brown SPD Ranger growled at me. Oh, hell no, I muttered and dropped into my fighter's stance. The ranger pressed his trigger and fired an energy shot at me. I rolled forward as I defending myself, and then I stood up and swung my stick, hitting the rifle. Then with the other stick, I slammed him across the chest. Then I tapped him across the head with the other stick, and he stumbled back. Then a husk ran at me with a laser dagger. I pressed my weapon icon. Download Cyber Triggers, I called out. Then I aimed one blast at the SPD Brown Ranger and one blast at the advancing husk. I pulled both triggers and both of them dropped to the floor, and the ranger demorphed. Then I saw Sam running across the battlefield and snatched up the black box. Sam, leave it! Get to cover! I yelled across the small wall between the time-traveling criminals and the SPD Rangers. Sam ran back the way he came, with box in hand, when suddenly he tripped and the box hit the ground, and then it triggered a huge white flash of light. Everyone in the lab stopped and looked up as they saw 15 weapons floating there, each one similar tone to my 3 weapons. There was a red sword, a blue whip, yellow shurikens, black drill bits, a pink staff, a green crossbow, purple scepter, gold scimitars, silver hatchets, a white deck of cards, an orange shield, a stinger blaster, a scythe, and a set of claws, and a pair of sage green nunchucks. 15 weapons floated before us. Sir, it is all the Cyberforce weapons. We finally found them, one of the SPD Rangers said to their communicators. The Cyberforce weapons? I muttered in shock. Cyberforce weapons have been identified. Retracting weapons to key format for safety reasons. Please insert weapon key into morpher to reactivate the weapons. My morpher spoke. What the hell? I blurted, looking at my morpher, as it started flashing. Then all the weapons started glowing. Then in a flash, they turned into small coloured keys. Then each key flew away. One through the hole of the ceiling, flying up through the building and out the building completely. Everyone stood in shock. It took a while, but eventually the husks left back to the atmosphere, entering their massive spaceship. The SPD Rangers left after warning me about my morpher. I had a good argument of defending myself, as I defended my friend in a lab, so they didn't tell me off too much about beating one of their rangers to a pulp. Sam did some digging. Turns out the 15 weapons that vanished belonging to the first 15 Cyberforce Rangers. We found out that they were hidden away after their power set disappeared. Hidden away by the creator. Turns out the weapons were in that black box for safekeeping till it got broke open. Sam came up with the idea that I might be able to use them and plug the keys into my morpher and activate the weapons just like the morpher said. So that became the plan. I was going to use the weapons to push back the husks, but I would need help. A week later, I stood up on top of the tallest tower in the city belonging to the police corps. Both the SPD and Time Rangers set their bases here. The door to the roof opened and a detective walked out and walked up to me. You're lucky I'm entertaining you, 'cause you're either really smart or really stupid, the detective said. His name was Mark Bailey, related to his ancestor of the same name, some Cornish ranger or something. He was gifted with the powers to see through time echoes. He was also the Crimson Time Force Ranger, due to him handling alien threats throughout different time periods. So these keys, where are they? Mark asked me. I held out a small device and a small holographic map appeared with small red dots spotted everywhere. They are everywhere, I told him. You know, I could lose my badge for helping you. They don't like it that you're owning a morpher legally. They can't take it off you just yet. Mark said, I know, but I need to do this. You guys have been fighting the hustlings for far too long. They got spooked when I used my morpher, so currently I'm a threat, I told him. Mark and me weren't the best of friends. We respected each other and had each other's backs most of the time. He was pretty annoyed when I got kicked out of the academy. I also got a morpher and didn't give it in straight away, so I guess Mark was pretty pissed at that too. But Mark was tired of seeing the husks steal from us. That was enough motivation. Alright man, I'll help you. For now, Mark said. I handed Mark a pair of communicating links and he placed them in his ears. Hey Sam, Mark muttered. Hey dude, how's things? Sam asked him. Okay guys, catch up later. We got weapons to collect. An alien race of stealers to kick out of our atmosphere. I barked. Then we got to work. And there you have it guys, the first chapter to Power Rangers Cyberforce Arsenal Archives. I really hope you enjoyed this chapter. Now of course, like I said at the beginning, this is an homage to not only Cosplay Dude 67, but Mark the Cornish Ranger as well. This is a story just dedicated to them too. That being said, thank you everyone for watching this, and a big shout out to Cosplay Dude 67 with his Power Rangers Universe 19 podcast, where you'll find the original Cyberforce story, and Mark the Cornish Ranger with his podcast Nerds for Comics. You'll find adaptations of comic books into audio dramas, his own original stuff, and some of my things on there too, as we're associated to each other, being the Three Ranger Bros. Of course, we're associated to Zero the Hero, the podcast, so you might want to go check them out as well. Subscribe to this channel and subscribe to Tiger Tales, the original Tiger Tales channel, where you'll find stories and fanfictions in a third person perspective. Thank you all for listening, don't forget to subscribe, and I shall see you guys really soon.